And we are back, man. I'm a little tired, so pardon my leaning in the chair. You know, we up in this jump, man. I'm gonna send this link out. But like I say, we expecting Will and everybody else. Hopefully my man John doing good. We ain't saw him in a month. But I'm certain he'll be back on the show in a timely manner. But we're gonna keep it rocking and rolling like we always do. Sending the codes out right now. So I gotta type the code in for Mika. And Will gonna pop in on the on this one here, and Mika gonna pop in. Wait, KHDE. Okay, it is right there. Says invalid. Oh wait, let me send it again. Copy invite link. Okay, let's try that again. That should be it right there. Okay. That should be the link. Copy invitation. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Ed, welcome back. Alicia, welcome back.
I'm still eating, so I took my camera off.
Girl, you've been eating for the past hour.
What you munching on over there, Ed?
A Caesar salad with a little tuna in it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that shit. I don't know. That sounds pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did y'all hear about them young niggas that was down at Millennium Park acting a goddamn fool?
Mm-hmm.
They said there was a couple hundred motherfuckers out there. They all met up from bumfuck Egypt, wherever the fuck they came from, went down the park, jumping on top of taxis, kicking the back of taxis, fighting in the street. One dude had a gun on him. Teenagers. Anybody want to guess what color they was?
Nope.
Okay, I just want to put that out there. But I'm like,
But that's not to say that white kids don't do stuff like that.
Oh Jesus.
Have you ever seen them when their team wins?
Yeah, they be out there. Okay, you know what? Okay, cool. Yeah, they go out there, they act a fool, they be flipping cars and all that other bullshit and this and that. But just because white people act a motherfucking fool, do we have to do the same thing?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, that's my point. We don't
Which
have
means that we do what everybody else do. Somehow, something's different about us that makes everybody want to seem like what we do is the worst out of all the bad. Like my bad is worse than your bad.
Yeah, because somebody gets shot.
White kids don't shoot?
I don't know what white kids do, to tell you the truth. In all honesty, I don't live around, well.
Yes, you do. You're an awesome Negro.
Well, Midlothian, but I got you.
My dad live in Midlothian.
Yeah.
My dad and I got a cousin that lives in Midlothian.
We just moved over here. Oh, that's your boy, Bruce.
Yeah, since tribute to Ebony, since she got shown up, we gonna do The Last Dragon.
Timac on there. That's his name was, Timac. They was crazy about him in the 80s. Oh Jesus. This guy.
He's a pretty man.
I don't want to hear about how pretty.
What?
I mean, what?
You know what? Because light skin was in, because now you sound a little bit.
I'm just saying. I mean, why y'all ain't put Vanity up there? I mean, if I knew how to put it up, I put Vanity. Vanity was in the movie.
You don't put Vanity up. You feel Vanity light skin too.
But she Vanity. Shit.
Oh, okay.
Ain't but one.
Let me appeal to your lower self then. Let me appeal to your low vibrations right now.
Well, you put him up there. I didn't say nothing about your lower self.
It makes so much.
I put him up there because he was cute. I was just going along with Ebony's thing.
Listen, y'all. It makes so much sense now why Shonuff was like that. That nigga was a Hebrew Israelite.
Oh God damn! And he showed that they do just like that. Though. I ain't gonna lie.
And so it was Shonuff for no fucking reason. Like, kiss my Converse. Like, what the fuck?
y'all ever seen him in a movie outside of that? I got a movie.
Yeah, I have.
What was the movie?
I can't remember, but it was like an old, back in older times.
Like 70s?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's a movie I always watch it. It's called Disco Godfather. It's got Rudy Ray Moore in it.
Oh
So
shit.
I like Rudy Ray Moore.
That's my boy, but Show Enough is in there. But this was like he was way younger, and he's in there, and it was about he was on the whole movie is about Dolomite was trying to stop motherfuckers from selling PCP.
Okay, there you go, Kennard.
I don't want both of them in there. Why you ain't just put Vanity in there by herself?
Because we was sharing.
Why you can't just like take the picture and then push it?
Because we share. Because this ain't about.
It's a reminder that this ain't about you.
Why not?
No, this is about we're doing the Last Dragon thing, and so since you don't know how to do it, I'm sharing my screen with you, so I got both of them up there.
That ain't even fair.
Really,
It's
really.
not
Now
fair
you
at
gonna
all.
cry? That's why we can't come together as a people right now.
Right there.
What, I want to see Vanity on there. What's wrong with that?
You saying Vanity? You looking dead at Vanity?
I know
Look.
that's right. Shit,
Yeah.
damn, still putting it down.
Shit.
Damn,
Y'all niggas.
You let me know when you finish. Let us know when you finish.
I ain't gonna lie. She one of the runs that she ran the 80s for real. She had an era.
Well, all of Prince's proteges ran the 80s, sir.
Well, it wasn't but two of them.
Really?
Two that you count, it was way more.
It was more
I
than
just
two.
can't remember their names.
Who was more than
You had Vanity 6. Then you had a whole group. You had Apollonia.
Apollonia, that's it.
You had
Wendy and
Nikki
Lisa.
Free, Wendy and
Yep.
Lisa.
Who is that?
Wendy and Lisa, is the water ready? Yes, Lisa. Shall we begin? Yes, Lisa.
Yes, Lisa.
Dun-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I gotta look her up. I don't even know who that is.
It's two people, not her. It's two people.
Oh, I
Two
never-
white girls.
Two white girls.
They played in the Revolution. They were part of the
They
Revolution.
played in Purple Rain. Those were actually his band members.
Anybody watch that movie? I ain't watching.
Oh my God. Never
Bro,
mind.
do you know that I'm in love with Prince? Do you know that? You know how many times I've seen not only Purple Rain, but Under the Cherry Moon. And Under the Cherry Moon happens to be one of my favorite movies. And let me just say that Purple Rain was not his best album ever. I wouldn't even put that on the top 10 of his songs.
What was his
Nope.
best album?
It was some gems on that first one, the Black Album, the one that came out in '78.
Soft and Wet. I love Soft and Wet.
That's the name of the album?
That's the name of the song, Soft and Wet. I like Pink Cashmere. That's a good song.
Diamonds and Pearls.
I mean, even like when you talk about Black Muse, and that's an older song. That's one of the songs he made before he died. Black Muse, 7.
Compares to you.
I'm not telling that song.
I'm just listening.
I'm singing it in my head so I can tell you. Coma Pimpin' Circumstance. I love that song.
I never heard none of that.
That's because you ain't no Prince fan.
Which
But
is-
people that listen to Prince know that damn song.
But
Who
Shoot.
pimpin' who?
Hell,
Nobody
and look, let's not forget, Alicia, sometimes it snows in April.
That's my shit. That's my
never heard
shit.
it.
That's on Under the Cherry
You
Moon.
missing out, man. You
Sometimes
missing
I
out.
feel so bad.
That's the movie I was black and
Sometimes
white. I got it in here.
wish.
I never saw the whole movie.
You need to see it.
I got it. I
You
just
ain't never heard the record store? You ain't
no.
never been to the
The
record store? The record store.
no.
Come on, you gotta watch. You have to watch Under the Cherry Moon.
I got it. I do. I got it. I got it on my hard drive. I got Under the Cherry Moon, and I don't have Purple Rain on the hard drive. But I hadn't saw that movie.
You know what? Sometimes, Kanar, I feel like ringing the bell and just yelling shame at you.
Do
What?
it now.
Shame.
Do it now.
What?
Because I don't know how you a DJ and you don't know all these songs.
You gonna get
Shame.
you gonna get black.
Shame.
So I'm wrong.
How you such a connoisseur of music, though?
Yeah, but I ain't started listening to Prince till like what? Shit. Maybe a year, 2 years ago. And that was just like the early shit. That's just I Want to Be Your Lover and Pop Life. That's it. That's as far as I go with Prince.
But that's
Oh,
not his
you
earlier
forgot you
stuff.
should write.
That's
look,
not
write
his
a
earlier
CD.
stuff. Prince had some stuff earlier than that. And Prince was actually in a group before he also broke out
What
on
was
his
the
own.
name
Like
of
he
the
had a
group?
whole group.
What was the name of the group?
I can't remember.
See, now how you gonna tell me?
I'm about to tell you, hold on, because you know I'm a Prince connoisseur.
You're gonna Google it, but you're a Prince fan. You gotta Google what group he was in.
I do. First of all, I do drugs. So what you want?
Sorry, y'all. That's me.
Okay, take your time. That's cool. No, but look, I've never been into. If I had a choice between Prince and Morris Day,
Grand Central, and that was at 13.
he was in Grand Central. Wait, no, not
Grand
Larry
Central.
Graham.
Graham.
He was in a band with Larry Graham.
Actually turned him into a Jehovah's Witness.
Wait, whoa. He was in a band with Larry Graham?
Yeah, Graham Central.
Are you serious?
That's actually, I think that's like his uncle or something. I think.
So he's related to Drake.
No, my bad. No. That's who's related to Larry Graham. I forgot.
Okay.
I knew it was somebody famous.
Okay. I just want to be clear.
No, you're right. You're right. I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, Graham Central Station is that's Drake's father, Larry Graham. Now I don't know what band Prince was in because I didn't, I ain't fuck with him. He wore like the pointy boots and shit, and I didn't too much, But when I grew to like, I want to be a lover, and I like the Controversy. That was okay.
Man, you missed out on a lot. There's some good stuff. Like, I mean, not like take away the aesthetic of it and just the beat, the music, the score. The way the music is put together. He was a genius.
You couldn't get that from Morris Day?
Morris Day, I love Morris Day, but Morris Day and Prince, they went to school together.
He was not as talented as Prince was.
If you listen to Coma, Pimp, and Circumstance, I'm telling you, just read the words off of Coma, Pimp, and Circumstance. You'll be gone.
Well,
I'm telling you, trust me. Prince had a lot of songs. He had a lot of songs.
And I heard he wrote for a lot of people too.
He did.
Oh, man.
Black and white.
I can see that. And that's just like with what's the name, Jam and Lewis. Now, them were some of my favorites there. Not to, put
they were some thieves though.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But Jam and Lewis, they put out a lot of hits in the 80s. A lot of hits. So
yeah, them and Pebbles, they stole people's money.
Yeah, Pebbles.
They fucked TLC.
Yeah, she ganked the shit out of them. They won't get no type of dope. But see, that's that's the industry. That's been happening. It's happening to a lot of people. But
a shitty person is still a shitty person. When you take advantage, like and the reality of it is when you take advantage of young girls, young Black girls, and you're a Black woman, like it is the industry. Mm-hmm. But but just like you said, we shouldn't be worried about like what white folks are doing. Like nobody should be doing it. And so it's especially more hurtful when you're a young Black girl, a Black girl group, and they genuinely like trusted you, like you. And you stole from them and you took so much from them and it was from a place of because they trusted you, to betray somebody that's a fucked up human being because you're preying on people that trust you.
Right. And see, that's the shiesty part about the business and because if I had to guess, it probably happened to Pebbles and it probably happened to Jam and Lewis when they first got on and they didn't know.
But that makes it worse though because you know how it feels.
Because you know what it feels like.
I'm not.
And everybody can make money. I'm just saying, like you know how it feels. So I wouldn't do something to somebody if it made me feel messed up. I wouldn't feel okay with going back and doing it to somebody else. Plus, it's so much money to be made in the music industry. At that point, you're just being fucking greedy. Because TLC was loved. I mean, they were touring and everything, so there was enough money to be made. It was just I'm so greedy. I'm going to make them like you basically were. They were working for food, like literally. All that work that they did, and they weren't benefiting from it. You and your guys.
Yeah, but see, that's how they do it. See, that's why, like today, I don't know, but either way, you got a lot of these independent artists now. Now it's not like you don't have to have a video budget and all that other shit. You got guys that go and they'll pay their buddy a bag of weed and a fifth of Henny and make a video and the shit will blow up on YouTube or.
I don't blame them though.
But because they're gonna see all the profits,
Right.
And that's what it is. You still have all the majors out there and all the other labels and stuff that still exist, but a lot of them guys, they start their own shit and get their own thing going so they could, run it how they see fit.
And they keep their masters too, so they're still in
Yeah.
control of their actual music. They control that.
That's like De La. De La had just Tommy Boy wouldn't sell them they masters or nothing like that. It was something. De La was getting fucked over real bad. And I was like, damn, that's bad. And it's not just that. I mean, it's a lot of cats out there. A lot of the, especially hip hop guys, that was out there, got screwed over major. Major. That's why when Wu came out, Wu had their own thing, but they was signed to Loud. I think they was signed to Loud RCA, and then RZA broke off, and they started coming with the Wu shit and getting their own thing going. Blah blah.
But that's
blah.
after they found out all the mother folks got fucked over, and they didn't start getting smart to like the well, not even smart, but they started to realize that they were getting fucked over like around 90s 2000s, and that's when they started like Jay-Z and all of them like really started trying to have more to do with their masters and their artistic rights and stuff, because when we're old enough to remember, I remember you used to have to watch the rap videos. You would have to sit through all the white videos on MTV too, because they didn't play it. But there was no BET. You had to, because rap was not a big thing. They didn't realize that rap was a big thing until they started realizing that it, like the clothing, the language, like it really controlled the whole culture. And that's when white folks and the media started feeding into it. But before then, hip hop was hip. Like I remember I'm sure y'all remember looking at hip hop videos and they had on the same shit we was wearing at the house, because Cross Colors, Carl Canard, Used Damage, Jabos, Timberlands, like anything that we had, that's what they were rocking, because nobody was really paying them, because it was just a fad. Wasn't nobody listening to that shit. It was garbage, whatever. And when they found out how much money they could make and how influential it was, that's when they started putting money. That's when you start getting Versace's and all these VVS's and whatever else they be talking about I don't know nothing about. That's when you got all this. But rap initially came, it looked like us. We could all relate to it because we all had that same shit in our closets.
Well, it's never even pushed off as far as the look. I mean, the look just goes from one thing to another. I mean, the rap.
What I'm saying with the look, it was tangible. Like with the look that was back then, it was tangible to us. Those are things that we could afford because we that was part of the culture.
Yeah.
As opposed to what they're wearing now. Like these kids, what these kids think is tangible at 19 and 20 is not a damn $1,000 Versace shirt. It's just not.
So yeah, you got a point there, but they also, at least like I was thinking about when Master P and them was out, and them niggas was wearing white t-shirts and fitted hat, no logo on it. That shit, you can go right to the beauty supply and buy that same shit, get the same chain that they got.
Right.
They ain't got the real gold, but you go get one of them motherfuckers that turn your neck green and get you one.
And the same Nike joints at the Foot Locker.
Right? You could go right around the corner and dress like Pete. And his whole crew, that's all No Limit, they wore that shit. Matter of fact, they used to sell like No Limit jerseys.
Right.
And shit. Discount mall and shit. And you can go over there and get you a No Limit jersey. You can no. They used to sell No Limit chains with the tank on it and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen that? That shit was bogus as hell. I swear to God, when I was in high school, I went to Austin, niggas was rocking around with No Limit chains on. I swear to God. Not a lot of them, but enough to know that they was fucking with No Limit. But anyway, but yeah, the game evolved. I mean, it's just they got more business smart. The young kids got more business smart, but half of them don't even live till 30. It's some of the Chicago rappers that got killed that I ain't never heard of, that ain't even 25 years old. And it's in like a rapper a week getting killed. On the same.
You have an industry that are like their biggest money making is making listen to these children talk about killing and murdering and robbing. And so you make this money off of that. And so if that's all you say, that's why I don't even listen to, I call it, no disrespect to the rappers, but it's low vibration to me. If that's all you talking about, you can't listen to that shit all day, every day, and don't think that it doesn't seep into some part of your life. Like it just does. And so you have these children that are like talented, Some of them are talented, some of them ain't got no damn talent like in real life. Some of them really don't. But the ones that have talent, they're not being fostered by people who really care about them. Like they're not. They're being preyed upon by people who want to make dollars. So it don't matter what you talk about, as long as you make me money, you can go ahead and talk about it. And the reality of it is, like, it's unfortunate that these kids are being murdered because they just really want to get out of the hood. Like I get it. Like, you don't want to live in the projects. You don't want to live. This ain't how you want to live. This ain't how you want to raise your child. So this is your way out. But you have to say this in order to be paid. And we can't glaze over the fact that once they sign a record deal or somebody discovers them, they're being told what they have to rap about. And of course they want that money. So this is what they're doing there. And it's the oldest story ever told. You got a lot of old white folks telling them, dictating to them what the trend is. And the trend is just, it's garbage. You talking about fucking, you talking about killing, you talking about popping pills, and I mean, and not to say that that's not part of what's going on in the world, but there's so many other things that's going on in the world, but they don't get a lot of airplay about that because that ain't what's hot, and that's not what they want us to hear. They want us to hear that low vibration shit. You keep on singing, I don't care what nobody say. The music and anything that you intake into your brain is just like food. So whatever you're feeding your mind is what you become. So you listen to all that stuff all day, every day, you become that. You start thinking that. You start behaving like you may not go out and kill nobody, but your behavior it starts to dictate what your mind is focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Okay.
When we was younger, we had some homegrown talent, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck every block got a rapper from it nowadays? Now hear me out here.
Okay.
Why the fuck everybody got a fucking record deal? And it's always these niggas that they call the other ones ops or whatever. It's like 2 blocks, you done ran into 3 rappers and 4 fucking gunfights. Like, don't you notice something? Like, them, are they making them rappers smaller and local like that to fight against each other?
Well, I think
you get them rappers fighting. And all of them ain't got talent. So we're gonna stop calling them rappers. You have these people that they come and they talk to, and they want to keep up shit. They want Chicago back anyway. So the more that we can keep y'all beefing with each other and shooting each other, we can have the city back. Cause y'all niggas, y'all gonna run these old folks off, these old folks that they pay for their homes and they can pay for their taxes. We can't get them out no other way. We gonna let these niggas shoot each other. And we gonna give them the money because they need money to buy guns and shit like that. So they ain't got to have no talent. Let's give them some money and let's see what they're gonna do with it. And if they're young and they don't have any guidance, they gonna do what they know to do. If they street niggas, they gonna do street shit with the money and they don't have no guidance. So yeah, it's intentional. It's gotta be intentional.
So did you say you did? I thought the first part of your statement, did you say it was white supremacy?
Yes, white supremacy shit.
Okay. Well, I agree. I actually got a shirt made like last year that said black gangs equal what the fuck does it say? Black gangs equal black. So, I have to wear the shirt because I can't even remember what the fuck it said. I want to say it the way it says on the shirt, and I can't see it. And then I've been fucking with this Canadian whiskey, and I don't remember. But look, I don't remember. Okay, look. But you know, the ill part is like, Abby made a good point, and it's the thing is this shit. See, whatever system is out there won't exist unless the people partake in the system. That's what keeps it going. See, these niggas, they love to rhyme about. See, it's drill culture. You was reading my mind because I was gonna say something about drill culture and then pass it to you. But drill culture is basically about rhyming about killing niggas, or the ops. Same difference. It's one and the same. So you actually have a culture about young black men who glorify killing and harming young black men. And it's the biggest thing selling. This is where we're at. It's worse than gangster rap.
But not, don't just say it's the, well, not, let me not tell you what, I ain't trying to tell you what not say, but let's not forget that they're not, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but they're only doing it because it pays. So somebody white is out there paying for all this shit, all this garbage that's out here right now. There's somebody paying them for all that shit. And that's why I say it's white supremacists, because they're not, anything that they're doing, anything that's put out musically, more times than not, it's not being put out by anybody black. These white companies are putting this shit out, and they're paying these young boys to sing. They want them to sing that shit, and these young boys, they gonna sing it because they don't want to live where they live, or they want better, or they want some money, or they want whatever it is they want. It equals money to them.
So you are willing to put your life and the lives of your family members and your friends on the line for money that you ain't gonna be alive long enough to spend. Now, what kind of sense does that make?
Well, but you're talking about, so let's talk about young kids first. Like, you know, I look at my son now. I had a child at my son's age. I had a 1-year-old at his age, right? Mm-hmm. And I look at him now, I'm like, he don't know shit, right? So at 23, I couldn't have known shit, right? And we're talking about kids that are younger than that. And I was in the military and didn't know shit, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't know shit. My son is a good boy. I don't have no problem. Good guy, young man. He work hard. He pays bills. He got his own shit. But he's 24, and I know talking to him that he does not know a whole lot. So now you're talking about, and my son grew up military. My kids are military brats. They didn't live, they didn't struggle. They don't know what that look. They don't even know what really like in the hood look like. I know what it looks like. They really don't know what it looks like. So you're talking about children that are 15, 16, 17, been in the hood all their life. Not even in the hood. Let's talk about the projects, the ghetto. They've been around, you know, gunfire. That's been a normality for a lot of us. Like you hit guns in Chicago, you just move away from the window. It's not a big thing. You ain't trying to figure out who should just move. That's what, because it's you become accustomed to it. So you have these children that are accustomed to this way of life. Period. And so this is a normal dysfunctional way of life for them. And so now they get money. They don't think about, I mean, and it really, when you think about a child, even 18, 19, they don't think about the broad spectrum of things. Like I still have to tell my son, hey man, just when you do this, think about how this is going to affect this, this, and this. So you're asking a child that is impoverished, that wants things like, we just talking about simple shit like a nice house. You know, somewhere where they can actually, some food that they can actually eat, somewhere where ain't no road. They want regular shit that they should have. And now somebody comes to them with money. They're not thinking about somebody can be hurt. A lot of them are thinking about, hey, I can pull my boy or whoever, I can help my mom, or I can, they don't think in terms of how it's a detriment to anybody. And that's how the white folks get them, because they don't, if they had like me or you or somebody who was older and didn't kind of understood what was going on, then we could explain to them what it was. But when you don't have that, and then you're talking about somebody that, even when you have it and you're impoverished, how do you talk somebody that's in poverty out of making millions of dollars? Like the shit just, it don't make sense, because I want that $1 million because I don't want to be in poverty no more. And these people prey on it, which is why I say all of it starts to end with these white folks that come into these communities and they offer these boys money. And even when they don't have talent, they're offering them money to fucking create a beef. Because a beef generates money too, because everybody want to hear what who gonna say, and they ain't even got to talk about it. They ain't even got to have no talent. You just want to hear the beef, even if it's on YouTube. You'll buy their record because they beefing on YouTube, and that's real. So when we look at these young kids, we have to look at who's supplying the money, who's supplying the media, the venue, all this shit. It ain't us that's doing that shit.
Well, it's us that's perpetuating it.
I agree.
And before I get into my whole bag, Ill Will and came up in the building.
Hey, Will.
What's good, bro? Your mic.
What's up, Will?
Your mic is not on. We got to get that squared away. Your mic is not on, and I hope it ain't loud.
We can't hear you.
I hope it ain't loud.
He said, hope it ain't loud.
There you go. What up, bro?
What up? You hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now. You 100%.
Is that good? It's not too loud?
Good. You on point, bro. You good. What's up, man?
All right. Just want to make sure.
Okay, my man. What's good? What's popping, man? How was your week?
Man. What you say, Alicia?
I said, since Kennard talking shit, you don't want
what's going on? I see you got what's it called behind you? I like that. Man, I know the movie too. Bruce Leroy.
Yeah.
Bruce Leroy. Yeah.
There he is. You see Daddy over there looking
Bam.
motherfucker. God Damn.
Yeah, she's fine.
And she bad. She been bad forever.
For real, she's fine. Look at
Wait, is
Elgato,
she
see who
still
that is.
alive?
Who?
Huh?
I got show enough in the background.
Oh, I see. Show no.
No, it's supposed
Who
to
the
be
baddest?
right.
Show no.
No, that's my Hebrew Israelite behind me. So
You Hebrew Israelite.
They've been going in with on Alicia and Eb like hard, man.
I see, man.
I'm gonna
They
get on
might get
TikTok
security.
or something shit. Cause you know they be a little strict. You know,
there's some.
hey,
They are they all short? Because they all kind of got like short men personalities.
they
like-
probably are
I'm
short.
not touching that.
The sawed off
Like
mother.
you can't be no taller than 5'8" to be part of this.
They be, but I be seeing them. They be in like I see the videos. They be in Harlem and shit like that, and they be out there going hard as fuck. It'd be like 90 of them niggas. They be standing on the corner, and they
Yeah,
be
they do. Yeah.
tough as hell. You be like, damn, and they be going
Yeah.
hard. They had a Bible like this, and they be like,
Yeah, one of the real thick ones too.
and the dude will read the shit, and then the other dude will break the shit down. And
Right. They be on cue too with it.
you on cue like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
But you can't force that on people, man. That's what we was talking about earlier. You can't
I
force
was on
Oh.
shit.
you know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man, hell,
Let
I
people
was
believe what they
damn just scared to go on TikTok for a minute because I woke up one morning. It was like 34 notifications, and
got something. See, Ed, you got something going on there. We
For
got
real, we
I
do.
don't be talking to them. No, I do not be talking to them. They really like if my post was my house, they didn't kick my motherfucking door down and telling me what I
Yeah,
am. Like
man.
for real.
That's crazy.
that's a, you know, they be on some, I don't know, some other shit. And
That
that's
shit weird.
what-
Yeah.
whatever you doing or saying on there.
Right. You
That
got
shit going.
mad. They be
You know what?
like,
Alicia,
Nothing else.
Alicia, what do I be talking about on there?
She really, so she really is not, so she's not talking about anything controversial, but what I have noticed with a lot of people that talk about Black people and I mean, she pretty much talk about the same stuff we talk about on here, but whenever somebody talks about Black people or returning to Africa or reparations or just anything that's going on in here, I see a lot of the Hebrew Israelites and a lot of people's comments telling them that they're not Black, that they're, you know, that they're like, and I don't know what's to it because it's the conversation is never, or even if they're calling like people, if they call themselves indigenous, like some people, I'm indigenous Black or I'm in, you know, whatever, they'll get on there and be like, no, you're a Hebrew Israelite, and they'll just start going in.
I get it. I do get it because, you know, Black is a fairly new term to describe us.
yeah.
And it was before that we were Afro-American or Negro, and before that we were something else. So I get why they're saying that, but as far as going into any further depth in that, or even I mean, because here's the thing. We are truly lost as far as we're cut off from our true ethnicity. Because I say, this is what I say, this is my personal belief. I believe so-called Black people are the actual Native Americans. I believe there are some of us that were native to this land and some of us that were sold over here. That's my personal belief.
That's
Now,
actually a fact. That's been proven.
okay, now be it as it may, okay, so that means that you have some people that, okay, because this is what I think, okay, when you think of the supercontinent, if anybody here, I'm pretty sure some of y'all are familiar with Pangea. I think that's how you pronounce it. Okay, okay, now just judging from the way Pangea is, all continents were all linked together. There was no bodies of water to separate them. So you could get from one place to another, whether it's by horseback or whatever. You can get from
Pangea happened almost 250 years before humans evolved.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I heard that before though.
Okay, so that's something I didn't know. Okay, so
So,
before human
but a lot of people think that though. I don't know why. You're not the only one. I've heard that, and people will argue you down, but it's not. And
okay,
so yeah, I guess like maybe it's part of that what's that shit called, the Mandela effect? Maybe it used to be that. I don't know.
okay. Well, here's the other side. Here's the other side. Okay, let's say some of us were sold over. Some of us were already here. Okay, now as far as I'm concerned, we're definitely all prisoners of war. And I say that because if we were already here, and as it stands, we're not dominating this land, it's because we were taken over, which explains why most so-called Black people, native language, or not native language, but first language is English. So that lets you know who you was dominated by. Okay, and it's the same thing with whoever was sold over from wherever in Africa to the Americas, or to Puerto Rico, or to Mexico, or to the Virgin Islands and all those other different little islands. We sold them everywhere, but we definitely know they were sold there because there's people over there right now today just black as shit, and you know they come from us. Okay, now
Wait,
am I going?
these were those were the first ones that kept jumping on my shit when I first got on TikTok. It was only 200,000 Africans that came over.
Okay, from where in Africa?
No, they were saying it was only 200,000 slaves from 1400s to whenever to the 1800s.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I'm listening. I want to hear what you got to say.
No, go ahead.
I was listening to you.
But that's not true.
So what number would you say was sold over there?
Well, I'm not going to say it was. I would say it's around maybe 10 million.
Wow.
And let me explain why. Because people only talk about what happened in the United States. People don't think about the devastation that taking all those people did to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
That's what weakened Africa, which caused the colonization, which made people, a lot of that infighting and stuff that's going on now because of colonization.
But doesn't it make sense if you have less people there, it's easier to fight?
Right.
But you have to remember what they took. They took women, they took young men, and they took kids. So that left the elderly. Like they were taking people, they were kidnapping people that were able to work. You're not going to kidnap your weakest. You're going to leave those behind. And not saying that they got all the strongest, but women produce. Kids are, you can train them, and you can have them forever. Well, not forever, for a longer period of time. And then strong men can work. But a young man, an older man, older women, somebody that's maybe not as fit, you leave them behind. So that leaves you with the.
So it was like an age. It was like an age kind of group.
Well, not only age, but or the weakest, like anybody that was sick or feeble, or we're not able to work. You left them there. Why would you bring them over there?
That's true. Yeah.
No productivity out of them. So that basically we was.
Then who's left there to do the farming? Who's left there, to carry on the tribes or whatever? So it was a devastation.
That's true. That makes sense.
Think about that when they say things like that, and to me, it's almost like a slap in the face for all the ones that were taken, but they saying never existed.
And there was an island in Africa, even after they stopped them from coming over there, getting. I don't like the word slave, because we were not slaves. When they came over there and took us, there was an island that they were taking. They were like literally stealing people and putting them on this island in Africa, white folks, and they would hold them there. So even after you think about how slavery was over with, like Haiti just finished paying Europe, like they had to pay Europe because they refused to return Black folks that got away from them. They refused to return them. So Europe made them pay. That's why Haiti's so poor now. They made them pay for these stolen people. When you talk about, even like when you talk about indigenous people, some of these folks are not indigenous people. White folks were paying for the privilege of being called indigenous so that they could benefit from being indigenous. So you got white folks that were
They-
not indigenous getting
They
benefits,
call
and
them
then when you were
$5
dark
Indians.
skinned, right?
For
When you were
$5
dark
to
skinned,
be an
they
Indian.
told you were too dark to be an Indian. So even in your dark skin, you didn't receive benefits because you were too dark.
Right, right. Well, that's the same
Mm.
thing they did with the black folks, so-called black folks, and the Irish. I did a little post about it on Facebook years ago. And long story short, when we talked about it here, the Irish is basically living in the ghettos and living in the hoods and making gangs and all this other shit, you know. And when it came a point in time where so-called English or so-called Americans decided that, hey, we're gonna open up the books and give some benefits out. The Irish basically sold us out. See, it was a point in time, where we was basically us and Irish and the German and the Polish and all those
Yeah,
other people were on the same level. But see, they
because they did that because it's like I'm okay, you might be poor, but you're not black. That sort of thing.
right.
So what the people in power did was they said, hey, y'all look like us, so y'all better than them. So, why don't you